What's your thought when you see a house that's been on the market for 30-ish days or 60 days? Answer is always, what's wrong with the house? We're going to talk about some agent insights as our agent insight mastermind here. Really, we just quickly go over what's going on in the market and some insights to help boost business for yourselves, what we're doing here at Your Home Sold Guaranteed. Let's start stats. Last 7 days, 193 new listings, 38 came back on the market, a few price increases, so that's good. A lot of price reductions, 139 price reductions. So we definitely are seeing a little correction in terms of pricing, what sellers are asking for their homes. This might sound like bad news, but actually when we look at our data, price per home is actually stable, which makes it, a nice stable market, strong, still healthy is a good way to describe it. I had a client email me asking, hey, what's going on with the market, up or down? And I just responded, hey, this is a healthy market. We've got homes being purchased and homes being sold. And we can still see that, right? Because active in the last 7 days, 214 homes were active and almost half of them went pending. So still a strong market. Here's what I wanted to kind of point out, because it sounds like bad news when all we're talking about is price reductions. But if we were to look at our market trends and data, what I thought was interesting is this average list price. They're starting a little too high at 2.9% higher than the last month, but we're still closing pretty good, a little bit more than last month. It is a slight decrease in price per square feet, but still solid. I mean, that's healthy market. What are you seeing out there, Pat?
Yeah, same. Over the last week, we've had a few less expireds than we saw the week before. It was kind of interesting. Active units are down over the last couple of weeks. So, and that's just looking week to week, right? So we're generally, everything's going down a little bit, but like we talked about, we did see an influx of new houses hit the market over the last, beginning of June. So it was kind of like end of May, it got real quiet, and then June hit and everybody's like, hey, let's list the house. So we had a huge boost of new homes hitting the market all at the same time. And so that kind of created a little bit of a bottleneck, I think. But we're seeing that start to space out and start to even out a little bit as the summer progresses.
That's usually what we see. It just seemed a little more than the last previous year, but I still think nice, healthy, strong market. I think that's
getting back into, I think, more of a balanced market where it's good for buyers and sellers. But what that means is when we go forward listing these houses, we do need to do a really good job of making sure we price the house appropriately. Because as you've seen, right, what happens if we price it too high?
Well, you're chasing the market, right? That's the problem, is if you price too high, expectations of the seller are that you're going to get it. Secondly, by the time you help them see that the market has shifted down to what the price might have probably should have been when you listed it, you're already down a little further. So you're chasing this downward step. And if you're always behind the market, you're getting longer and longer and longer on the market. And I always ask all my clients this, what's your thought when you see a house that's been on the market for 30-ish days or 60 days? Answer is always, what's wrong with the house? And typically there isn't normally anything wrong. It's just poor marketing, poor strategy on how to get that home sold. Last call was all about, marketing professional photos. This call, we're talking more about value. What is the value of your current home? And it fluctuates. Just like everything, right?
Right. Well, and that's what's interesting, right? Is as real estate agents, we understand a little bit about equity, because I think equity is one of those hot words, like, oh, I don't want to mess with my equity.
Yeah.
In reality, your equity changes every single day, and equities play money, right? It's like, ooh, I have equity.
It's just equity. You want to put it in a different terms. It's, how much did your stocks go up today, or your Bitcoin? I mean, I was looking at my Bitcoin purchase the other day. I'm like, whoo, Bitcoin, $72,000 a Bitcoin. And now it's $60,000 a Bitcoin. I didn't get the $12,000. I didn't lose the $12,000. Well, one, I didn't have a full Bitcoin. But I did lose, quote unquote, lose equity in my Bitcoin, but I didn't sell it. So I still have the Bitcoin. It's not gone. Just like home equity. Right? As
Right.
equity increases, that value is there. And once I sell and those dollars become real dollars in my bank account, then that's the money. But like you said, it's more like quote unquote play money. Hey, it's gone up, fantastic. It's gone down. Unless I'm moving or selling, it's okay. It's just how the market rolls. In fact, that kind of leads into what one of the cool things we're doing to talk and educate the people as agents and our brokerage here specifically. We've been chatting a lot about offering an evaluation for your homeowners, for your clients. It's an old strategy. It worked fantastic for Zillow. They still use it to this day. I've always had battles with Zillow and their estimates, as they're either way off or sometimes they're on, but for the most part, based off their algorithms, it's a very generic number. One thing that we're showing our clients and prospective buyers and or sellers is valuation of homes through our website and how that value is. And not only can they get to know what their value of their house is, we offer different things. One of those would be, hey, you want a cash offer? Like, are you really interested in selling your property? Would you like cash offers, multiple? So you could kind of really get an idea what a cash offer would look like as opposed to that evaluation. And I think that's a pretty awesome tool. These tools we've been developing well over a year. They're getting better and better each day. And in fact, we just implemented a great system that sends out marketing pieces to our database and to other prospective sellers on, here's a good way to watch that value quarterly. So send it out quarterly. It shows how their house has gone up. It is also going to share the bad news, right? As houses go down, but that's just news, right? It's just good to know. It's good to know what that is. And we tailor that per request of the clients so that they really know what that house is. And they're not just looking at Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, where they're basing algorithms off of multiple homes sold either in their area or outside their area. And this is what I think is a really cool tool to get clients to be engaged with us. And I think it's a great service for us to give back, right? So one thing that we don't have to call them and say, hey, we need to come over to your house and see what you've done. We need this. We're going to give you, hey, here's a detailed evaluation on your property, and it's going to fluctuate over the time. And anytime that we send out the evaluation, there are other opportunities in that email to find out what the house might really sell for with a cash offer. What are some of the other options if you are interested in taking advantage of your equity? So you don't have to sell to take advantage of your equity. Pull a HELOC out if you need to consolidate debt. If you want to buy another investment property. I don't know anybody who bought a home 25 years ago in our area that's regretting that decision. I think the last statistic I saw is that homes have tripled in the last, I think it was 35 years. I don't remember the exact statistic, but
Yeah, it was like 1991.
Yeah, homes have tripled. So I don't think anybody's complaining that they bought a home that long ago. And if you could take that equity now, buy a property, if you can cash flow it so it's managing great, 10, 15 years from now, you're going to look at it and go, wow, that's fantastic. So a couple of properties I've purchased 10 plus years ago, they've gone up in value. I don't look at them as, well, now they're up $100,000 and I've got $100,000 in my bank account. I look at it as, well, that's just an investment that's sitting along and it's going to continue to grow. Eventually I'll sell it and buy something else. Or continue to reap the rewards of the cash flow that comes in on a monthly basis. Our offer or our email are informing our clients on three main things. One, how their house is really doing in the market based off of local research data. Two, what does that equity look like? If you were interested in selling, you could find out what a cash offer would be on your property if you want to sell quickly. Three, if you want to take advantage of your equity, there's an opportunity to get HELOCs, home equity lines of credit, home equity loans, even equity share plan loans that come with no payments. So we can utilize some of that high equity if you want to do something like buy an investment property. I like this one because it's not over abrasive. It's not popping into their email all the time, trying to bug them. It's just a quarterly statement like you get from your La Schwab accounts, right? What do you think about it, Pat? What's your take?
Well, the thing that I really like about what this specifically sends out is it doesn't just give them, their estimated home's value, but it really breaks it down and looks at, okay, what's your mortgage balance? And it allows the user, whoever that is, to adjust that so that it's more accurate for them. And then that'll give them their estimated equity. And then it gives them options. Do you want to access that equity? If you do, here's some things that you could do with it. What I really like is it does go into the recent sales and it shows, okay, here's, sale A through E, and here's the reasons why that house sold for what it sold for, and here's the positive things that your house has that are better than it, or here's some of the things that are not as good as your house. And it gives the user a real good picture of why the valuation is the way that it is. So I like that. I mean, I'm a big statistics guy, so that kind of thing, it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. This house has one more bathroom than mine, or it's 3 years newer, or my house has one less bathroom and it's a little bit smaller. It has my house has a smaller yard than this house, so of course that house is going to be $1 million house, and mine's only a $900,000 house. Pretty cool stuff.
I think it's cool stuff. I think it's a great value to our consumers, our clients, those that are interested. It's significantly more dialed in and tuned specifically because we take the time to do that and look at their home individually, which I think is great because Zillow's never going to do that. Redfin can't do that. They just don't know the area enough. The other option, right, is the old school or the offer from an agent is, hey, you want to know what your home valuation is? Oh, great. I have to come over and see it. Ultimately, to get the best one is that, but we know the market's strong enough in our areas that we can make quick adjustments that will definitely dial it in a much better. If and when you're ready to take advantage of the equity, whatever that looks like for you, we're here. We're here for them. And that's the service base that we're going after. The idea of, hey, let's provide great value. And that's where the marketing strategy is going to work better. It's a longer play, right? We're not here just to get a deal and get out. This is a long play to make sure people know our value now, understand it, feel it from us. So when they're ready to take advantage of our services or use our services, we're ready for them.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that we're really striving to do and that we're pretty good at is technology-wise, staying ahead of the curve. Yeah. Because technology is changing really fast. But if you look at the real estate world in general, 5-10 years behind everything else. And so staying up with that and providing all of our clients value in technology that they're used to and that they want, I think is going to go a long way in making sure that you have satisfied customers and people who keep coming back.
That's right. Well, I think that's an awesome tip for every agent out there, and even for consumers, to learn there are better ways to get the information and better ways for us to deliver it and provide a value. So till next week, we'll have a great topic for next time, unless anybody's got any more questions or things to add.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you for coming. Talk to you later.